Are you wondering how the Melbourne Storm managed to consistently destroy opposition defences? Stick around to the end of this video and you'll gain an understanding of what it is that makes the Storm's attack so potent, and the mistakes that Manly made leading to a 40-point finals drubbing. Hey, it's Longy here from The Casual Athlete, where we help you get a better understanding of the NRL. If you're new here, make sure you click that subscribe button for more footy content. So let's get into it. Recently, the Melbourne Storm absolutely destroyed the Manly Sea Eagles. Now, this isn't a new occurrence for the Storm, as for the 2021 season, they lead the league in both tries and line breaks. But what is it about the Storm that makes them so lethal? Some would argue that pure star power puts the Storm above their opposition. In contrast, I'm going to make the case that coaching and offensive shape are the key fuel to this powerful offensive engine. Today, we're going to break down 4 tries from Melbourne's massive win against Manly, and exactly what they show us about how Craig Bellamy's attacking structures exploit defensive weaknesses and create isolation matchups across the board. First up, let's take a look at this Kenny Bromwich try in the 10th minute. Straight away, you're going to see 5 players in motion out to the left. Now, in the middle, Brandon Smith and Christian Welch keep the inside defenders committed, which opens up a ton of space for Munster to work in. As soon as Munster takes the ball here, he's identified that Olakau'atu is out of position. This creates the opportunity for Cam Munster to drift out to the left, draw in Daly Cherry-Evans, and create an overlap on the outside. With a 3-on-2 overlap, Munster is absolutely spoiled for choice on where he throws this ball. He's got Kenny Bromwich looping around on the overs line, as well as Justin Olam crashing in on an unders line. As we watch through, we'll see Morgan Harper sliding in to put himself in front of an unmarked Justin Olam, which creates a 2-on-1 overlap out the back for Kenny Bromwich. Upon receiving this ball, Bromwich has options. He can either drive into the line here from close range and hope he burrows over, or look to free up his winger and open up an unmarked try on the edge. In this case, Bromwich decides to drive in, and in spite of great defence from Morgan Harper, manages to just get the ball down here. What we've learned so far is that Melbourne playmakers like to drift outside in order to create overlaps on the edges. If defences jam in, they're not afraid to swing it out the back. But what happens when defences attempt to slide out to cover this? In this next clip, Papenhuyzen slices straight through the defence at near the exact same point of the field as our last try. But let's slow this down and take a look at how Melbourne's shape opened up the space for Papenhuyzen to cut through there. Immediately, we're seeing a repeat of those overs and unders lines that we used previously, with Kamika keeping the inside defenders honest. This opens up space for Papenhuyzen at the back, who identifies Olakau'atu again out of position. DCE desperately wants to avoid a repeat of the Kenny Bromwich try we've just shown, and keeps his primary focus on Justin Olam, hoping that the inside man can cover the blistering Papenhuyzen. On the other side, Papenhuyzen realises he has the speed and the balance to exploit this defensive mistake. After a subtle dummy, we can see Cherry-Evans is completely committed to Justin Olam. With Olakau'atu not quick enough to close the gap, it's game over. Papenhuyzen puts on an awesome swerve here and shows incredible strength to keep his balance on the way to the try line. Having seen the Storm execute out the back and via playmaker run, it's important to note that they're also willing to hit the crash ball with a short pass. With Melbourne digging out of their own end here, we're going to see a much simpler offensive shape than what we do in the red zone. As a quick disclaimer, I really do rate Olakau'atu and think he's one of the best young back rowers in the game. Saying that, in this play, Cam Munster identifies the opportunity to skip around the outside of him and draw in the outside man. With the outside defender squared up, all that's left to do is position Justin Olam and hit him with the short ball, going straight through that gap. Having successfully done this, the Storm now have another 3-on-2 overlap. With each of these players already having scored in this game, Manly are panicking, alarm bells are ringing, and they're trying to slide out to again avoid another overlap mistake. Unfortunately for Manly, Olam is way too powerful for this half-hearted tackle attempt and blasts straight through Morgan Harper. Meanwhile, Harry Grant has been tracking up the inside, immediately begins sprinting and puts himself in position to receive an offload. Reminiscent of Billy Slater, we see Papenhuyzen looming up the inside. Now, little Papi's got way too much speed from here, and he ends up scoring the try with relative ease. Today, we've really focused on the attacking potency of Melbourne's left edge. But it's important to note that Melbourne's left edge wouldn't have the space it does without the attacking creativity of the middle forwards and Melbourne's hookers. This last clip is a really good example of how Bellamy's attacking shapes create indecision in defensive lines. Upon initial examination, Manly appear to have numbered up pretty well here. Jake Trbojevic and Marty Tapau are no slouches either, so you wouldn't expect much to be brewing for the Storm in this play. Now, instead of hitting straight lines like a lot of other teams in the NRL, we're going to see something different from the Storm here. Jesse Bromwich slides out on the overs line, while Christian Welch slams in on the unders line. This serves to create indecision in Manly's defence, with all eyes on Jesse Bromwich as the first receiver. With Marty Tapau's eyes focused elsewhere, Christian Welch is able to adjust his line mid-run and hit the inside hole, scoring an easy try. As a bonus, we see a similar shape used here to devastating effect. Asofa Solomona draws in 3 defenders and feeds Justin Olam an easy try. In essence, Melbourne's attack is made so potent by 3 key ingredients. Firstly, well-drilled overs and unders lines from everyone who's off the ball. Secondly, highly intelligent playmakers who are quickly able to identify defensive weaknesses. And thirdly, explosive ball runners across the park who are able to exploit defensive isolation matchups. If you enjoyed this type of content and would like to see more, subscribing really helps us in growing the channel. And as usual, I'm always looking for new ideas for videos, so if there's a team or a player that you'd like to see analysed, let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, I'll see you next time.